guys, so I'm here with a video for you guys, and this is gonna be a video that I don't really usually do on my channel, but what the hell, you already know by judging the title of this video whether it's up there, down there. But I'm here to talk about Chris Benoit. So it's been 10 years since Chris Benoit's death. Even if you haven't been a fan of WWE since 2007 or maybe longer, I'm pretty sure even if you're just becoming a fan today, somewhere down the road you heard the name Chris Benoit. So before I get into what happened and everything in 10 years ago, let me just explain what this guy did. He did wrestle in all three promotions, and you know, he wrestled in WCW, he wrestled in ECW, and of course wrestled in WWE. He might have wrestled elsewhere, I don't know. Let me give my honest thoughts in terms of his wrestling ability. Without a doubt, he was one of the best wrestlers we've ever had. You know, he went out there and put on some classics with you know, Kurt Angle, Triple H, Eddie, and possibly my favorite matches of them. One of them being Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho at the 2001 Royal Rumble, the ladder match. Oh my God, his match with RVD at SummerSlam 2002 was a great match. You know, unfortunately, but see, that's the thing though. While he did have a lot of great matches, a lot of them are now underrated, you know, for obvious reasons. I feel mostly bad for Chris Jericho because his matches with Benoit were something else, you know, and these guys' matches can't be talked about at all. And in terms of like what he won gold in all three promotions, but I don't really remember what he won in ECW and WCW, but in WWE, of course, he won every belt except for the WWE title. But you know, he became tag team champions with Chris Jericho. He won the IC belt, he won the US belt, and of course in WrestleMania 20 he won the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event between Shawn Michaels, him, and Triple H. So yeah, so like I said, without a doubt, he is one of the best wrestlers. Now let's get to what happened. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure most of you already know what happened, but for those of you who do not know, let me just explain. As we all know, in 2007, there was a tournament held for the ECW Championship. From what I remember, it was Chris Benoit, Elijah Burke, CM Punk, and Marcus Carvon, I believe that was his name. So it was those four guys, and of course Benoit and Punk won their matches. So the match was set for them two to collide at Vengeance for the vacated ECW Championship. But on the day of the pay-per-view, Benoit, I believe, said that there was a family emergency, so he couldn't make it to the show. This led to the now known as the double homicide, where of course Benoit murdered his wife and kid. There has been a lot of theories as to what actually happened. Now, and honestly, I still remember to this day when it happened. Now, I don't know if I saw the news. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know if I saw the news on what happened. But what I do know was that I went to school and everybody was talking about it. Like even if they didn't watch, like all my classmates, even if they didn't watch wrestling, we were all talking about it. What did we say? I don't really remember. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of theories as to what actually happened, you know. And people say that, oh well, maybe he was just crazy. Like what if he was just in a crazy state of mind? Yeah, some people say that, what if someone had actually killed Benoit's family and blamed it on Benoit, making it look like he committed the murders, which, I don't see that happening. This is not true. I really don't see how this works, but I've seen a couple people say, well, you know, what if maybe if Eddie didn't pass away, the Benoit family would have been safe, and I'm like, no, that's not a good theory. I am with almost everybody else that his brain was messed, because everyone says that his brain was messed up. And why do you think that is? Because if you watch his matches, he was always doing the flying headbutt where you literally land head first. He did that move all the time, you know, and that might have scrambled his brain. Same thing with Daniel Bryan. Why do you think Daniel Bryan is retired? I mean, it might not be that reason specifically, but he used to do that move all the time too, the flying headbutt. He had a lot of concussions. Like I said, I don't think a big deal was because of that, but I'm pretty sure it slightly had a role in his concussion, you know. Ever since that incident, it led to a lot of people being split down the middle in terms of, like, you know, like some people still like him, but some people are just hating on him now, calling, like, every time when they see him or talk about him, they just call him a murderer. People have also been debating on if he should be in the Hall of Fame, and me personally, I don't think he should, because how bad would that make them look? I mean, you're literally having a psycho in your Hall of Fame, you know. That's like, or you cannot have someone like that in your Hall of Fame. It's gonna make the business look bad. They did the whole tribute episode of Raw the very next night, and but as we all know, they weren't informed of what happened until I believe the very next day, which was Tuesday. And of course, that's when they said that they weren't gonna mention Benoit ever again. And it's been 10 years. They've stuck by that. Have you ever heard anyone mention Benoit's name ever since? I haven't. They kept their word on that. They're never gonna bring him up ever again. His fan base really dropped after that. You know, ever since that day, his fan base is really just like it just went way downhill, you know. People still debate on if he should, and I see some people saying, oh, he's innocent because, like I said, that's what some people think, that what if someone had actually committed the murders and made it look like he did it. We all have our own theories as to what actually happened. All I know is that it's been 10 years and it still hasn't been cleared yet on what happened, you know. But I really do believe that's the reason, that his brain was just messed up, you know, and he just went crazy. The other thing is too that people even say that he was never the same after Eddie's death, which I don't blame him. I mean, how must that feel? You know, your best friend passes away. What can you do? He was good, without a doubt. He was good in the ring. Put on a lot of classics, but like I said, in terms of the Hall of Fame, no, that shouldn't even be discussed. And I feel bad for Nancy Benoit. I believe that's her name, right? I feel bad for her because she didn't do anything wrong, but they have stayed away from the entire Benoit family. They don't want anything to do with them, you know. So I feel bad for her because I see people saying that she did a lot for the business, and this is how she gets repaid, by just not bringing her up either. But this whole debate on what happened and should it be in the Hall of Fame, it's gonna go on forever. Maybe, at least for the next couple of years, it might keep on being debatable. That's the thing too, there are still a lot of things that still shock us to this day about that incident. That must suck too, you know. And like I said, it must suck for the wrestlers who worked with him, you know, because I mean, I'm pretty sure all the guys who worked with them respected him and everything, but ever since then, I'm pretty sure they all lost respect. Maybe they lost all respect, you know, not just some. I always go on my one of my subscribers' live streams. I believe his name is Core of Extreme, and I always tell them, like, you know, what kind of like dream matches could Benoit have been in, you know. I don't know why, but I feel like one could have been him versus Rollins, you know. I don't know why. I just think that would have been a cool match, But yeah, guys, so that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, like I said, it's been 10 years, and still to this day, there are many things about that shock us. This thing has never been cleared, and God knows if it'll ever be cleared, you know. And that's all I got, guys. So think what you want, you know. We all have our own opinions on this whole thing. So, like I said, I personally believe his brain was just too damaged. And no, like I said, good wrestler, but with this whole suicide thing, double homicide, the Hall of Fame is out. It's like, don't even discuss it. So yeah, so RIP to Chris Benoit. And until then, guys, as always, Reckless Rich signing out.